What's up, y'all, and welcome to Second and 15, a Philadelphia Eagles fan podcast presented by Old City Sports Network, the best network for all your Philadelphia sports needs. This is your host, Michael Roscoe. A little bit of a stale week for Eagles news, but we got some topics to talk about this week, including a roster signing, one Eagles player gets some special recognition, and some rumors floating around about a veteran edge rusher potentially coming to Philly. We got all that and more, so let's not waste any more time and dive right into it. Starting off this Eagles news, we got an interesting signing at the wide receiver position as the Eagles have signed Terrace Marshall to a one-year deal. The 6'2", 200-pound receiver comes to Philly after finishing last year with the Las Vegas Raiders. Originally drafted in the second round by the Carolina Panthers, Marshall was cut, spent some time with San Francisco's practice squad before finally landing in Vegas. We're now with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Johnny Wilson, and Terrace Marshall. Would the Eagles elect to choose a wide receiver in the draft this year, more so in the first round or two? Personally, if it comes down to a pick and the best player available is a receiver, I would say just go for it. Otherwise, I would not, nor could I see the Eagles making trade moves to move up in the first round or even early in the second round to specifically go and pick a wide receiver, especially with all the needs that the Birds have on defense. However, on Tuesday, the Eagles may have hinted at a reason to potentially make a trade within the first round for an offensive player, specifically at tight end. ESPN's Todd McShay had hinted to Mina Kimes to look out for a tight end or to keep an eye on the tight end situation in Philly. Currently, tight end Dallas Goedert still remains an Eagle. Nothing with that has changed despite the trade rumors and the allegations that have been going around the league since basically the end of the season. I feel like there's been a shit ton of talk about Goedert exiting Philly, yet nothing has happened yet. Now, several analysts have said that this draft class doesn't have many guys that are worth trading up significantly for, at least within the first round. If a strong tight end happens to fall to day two, I could see the Eagles trading up within the second or third round to get someone at that position, especially if they're really looking to part ways with Dallas Goedert for financial reasons. I just really don't think, especially with Dallas Goedert still being on the roster, that we need to spend a first-round draft pick on a tight end, especially since we've gotten quality players such as Goedert at that position within the second or third rounds. Defensive players seem to be a hot commodity, not only for the Birds, but for other teams as well. And I think if we want to keep this trend going of keeping a younger defense, then we're going to have to go after guys like Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss, or my personal first-round choice at this moment, safety Malachi Starks out of Georgia. And yet let's just reunite him with the other Georgia Bulldogs turned Philadelphia Eagles and call it a day. In other news, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts was named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world, announced Wednesday morning. With his influence in increasing participation of young female athletes in flag football, the Jalen Hurts Foundation, and his continuing resilience and determination even after winning a Super Bowl and being the Bulls' MVP, Jalen Hurts deserves this recognition, especially with how much the media likes to bash his athletic performance. Hurts just continues to win on and off the field, no matter what anyone says. So congrats to Jalen Hurts on yet another astounding accomplishment. In other Eagles-related-ish news, free agent and former Eagles cornerback James Bradberry visits with the Buffalo Bills. The Eagles released Bradbury back in March, designating him as a post-June 1st cut. With the first and second waves of free agency over, this feels like the first instance of any public interest in the former Eagles corner that I've seen, at least. I haven't seen anything about Bradbury until today, pretty much. Bradbury spent the last 3 seasons with the Birds, although he was injured for the entirety of last season. The Eagles decided not to keep him for the final year of his contract after being injured all last year and having a significant regression in the 2023 season. Y'all know I've said this before. I personally think it was a smart move not to keep him, especially as the Eagles front office looks to keep this defense on the younger side. In other, again, Eagles related, kind of more of the Saints, but Eagles related in a way, news. Saints quarterback Derek Carr couldn't miss the entire 2025 season, and they are in need of a quarterback. I think he broke a couple ribs or some shit. I can't remember exactly what happened to him, but the Saints are in need of a quarterback. And their answer could be a certain Eagles quarterback that made a name for himself with such a limited sample size. Eagles backup quarterback Tanner McKee has been named a possible replacement for the Saints quarterback dilemma. Now, do I think Tanner McKee deserves a shot at a starting NFL job? Quite possibly, yeah. He has only one NFL starting game under his belt, but he sure made a name for himself in doing so. My personal feelings, however, tell me that we gotta hang on to him. I have to imagine with losing Kenny Pickett and signing Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the Eagles see Tanner McKee as that quarterback 2 to back up Jalen Hurts, which is a promotion from his QB3 days. Plus, McKee accounts for just under $1.1 million of the salary cap. For a quarterback 2, that's pretty damn good. I think the Saints would have to give up either a couple draft picks or a draft pick and a player to get him from us, especially the way we've bullied the Saints with trades in the past. But overall, I think if the Saints call and ask for Tanner McKee, Howie Roseman should say nope and hang up on their ass. And finally, to wrap things up with this episode, we got some more trade rumors going around, y'all. Once again, but this time it's at the edge rusher position, a position that the Eagles are in need of after losing Brandon Graham to retirement and Josh Sweat in free agency. On Monday, rumors had been circulating around after Steelers edge rusher TJ Watt posted on social media a cryptic photo of himself with the peace sign emoji, possibly indicating that he could exit from Pittsburgh, as it seems that contract extension negotiations are not going the way he wants them to. Now, he did have a dip in sack production this past season, but nonetheless, he's still a fantastic fucking player. At the age of 31, I believe this would be a signing opposite of the trend that the Eagles office has been doing. However, if they were to land him, he'd be an automatic starter for sure. Now, I like the idea of TJ Watt coming to Philly, but I can't imagine I would like what we would have to pay for him. Watt is at the end of a 4-year, $112 million deal, which has averaged out to about $28 million a year. I imagine TJ Watt is looking to get over $30 million a year, and I can't see the Eagles hopping on this, especially with all the free agency moves and these inexpensive 1-year deals that they've been signing lately. Plus, this whole thing with the idea of as soon as a veteran becomes available, especially with the defense, since that's a need for the Birds, it's starting to become this random baseless trend, with earlier this week as veteran corner Jalen Ramsey being a potential trade candidate as he looks to be on the trade block out of Miami, with again the Eagles being named a possible location, as well as defensive lineman Kayvon Thibodeau out of New York. Now, while it'd be a nice one, I think if Philly is going to make a veteran free agent splash, it'd be at a position that doesn't see a $30 million price tag for an edge or $20 million price tag for a corner. Personally, if the veteran splash is going to be made, it's gotta be at the safety position. All right, y'all, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow us on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok by searching at Second and 15. That's 2ND, 8ND15. Or by searching the full name Second and 15, a Philadelphia Eagles fan podcast. You can also find the audio for each and every single episode releasing Thursday mornings on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Player FM, or wherever you get your podcasts, with the YouTube video being uploaded on Thursday evenings. This episode, Second and 15 and Old City Sports Network are sponsored by Warlord Beard Oil. Head on over to warlordbeardoil.com and use promo code OLDSPORTS, all caps, for 15% off products such as beard oils, washes, soaps, and many more for all of your healthy beard care needs. Orders over $75 will receive free shipping. We're also brought to you by SeatGeek. Head on over to SeatGeek.com or download the app and use promo code Old City Sports Network, all one word, for $20 off of your first purchase. We are sponsored by Robert Hangholt Construction. If you are in the greater Philadelphia region and you want to get some work done in your house, maybe start a new project, build that deck you've always been wanting to, call the #1 contractor in the area at 610-348-1066 to get a free estimate on your home project today. We are sponsored by Decals by Aaron. Head on over to decalsbyaaron.com for all your Delco products and merchandise. Your #1 spot for everything Delco, that's Decals by Aaron. We're also brought to you by Iron and Steel Threads. Check out ironsteelthreads.com. Use our promo code OldCity10 for 10% off the entire website, and a portion of the proceeds will go to youth hockey organizations. We're brought to you by Uncle John's Barbecue Stand, located in Claymont, Delaware. Check them out for some local delicious barbecue and sauces, only at Uncle John's Barbecue Stand. And finally, we have Custom Concessions. If you're in the market for repairs to your food truck or trailer, or you're just getting into the food truck business and need reliable service, check out none other than Custom Concessions. They use high quality materials, providing high quality service. Use the sponsors tab at oldcitysports.com to check them out today. And while you're there, don't forget to check out that merchandise tab to get some awesome gear from Second and 15. Once again, thanks y'all for joining in. This is Second and 15, a Philadelphia Eagles fan podcast presented by Old City Sports Network. We'll see y'all next week, where we'll have our final pre-draft talks as round 1 begins next Thursday. Hope to see y'all then. Don't forget to stay fly like an eagle, and as always, go Birds.